Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from Consensus in Austin, Texas. Joining us for this segment, we have Tim Ogilvie, Vice President and Head of Institutional at Kraken. We're here to discuss institutional trends in crypto and the need for multiple custody solutions in the US. Tim, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the Ethereum ETF. Pleasant surprise that we got the approval relatively quick, right? So what was Kraken's involvement with that?
So Kraken plays a couple different roles. We own CF Benchmarks, which provides the indices for 6 of the 11 BTC ETFs and 5 of the 9 Ethereum ones. And then we help create actually purchase the Bitcoin and ETH underlying the ETFs. So we play a reasonably large role with Bitcoin and expect we'll do similar volume on the Ethereum.
What are some institutional trends that stick out to you right now?
I think the biggest one that we've seen in the last 2 weeks or so is the path towards some regulatory clarity. So I think a lot of people, institutions in particular, have been a little scared of crypto because there's a sense of the US government doesn't want it to be a thing. And I think seeing a clear path to regulatory clarity in Europe over the last year or so has given a lot of momentum to institutions in the category. And so we're starting to see the same thing in the US, where people can see this clear path to they can be a regulated operator, and that gives them a lot of confidence to be able to invest in the space.
I would even argue that that's an even bigger catalyst than the Bitcoin or Ethereum ETFs.
Oh, I think absolutely.
I mean, look at where we're sitting right now, but the stage behind us, it's been a crypto policy summit all day long.
Yeah.
Right before they broke for lunch, it was around digital assets at the Supreme Court and how what their potential involvement may be. So, I mean, these are real conversations that are being had. I think in addition to more adoption, you don't want the brain drain either, right? If innovation is stifled, that's why you're seeing a lot of companies go to the UK or go to the EU because they're proactively putting this framework together.
Yeah, I mean, I was an entrepreneur building a business before I came to Kraken, and it's just so hard to drive innovation in a place where you can't count on the ability to do business in a regulated way. And so it gives us the ability to continue being an interesting place for people to build new businesses in a new category like crypto.
Well, of course, I mean, think about it. We're the number one stop for capital markets in general, right? You don't want to fall behind the architecture of this either.
Yeah.
And an important part of that is custody solutions. So why do you think there's a need for multiple custody solutions in the US?
Well, I think everybody who is an institution generally needs a qualified custodian to partner so that you know your assets are held in a safe, regulated way. And so Kraken has launched a qualified custody offering. We've always had the technology to keep assets safe, but we've now put the regulatory wrappers around it. But if you are thinking about the ETF, which holds billions of dollars of assets, you don't want that all sitting in one place. And Coinbase did a terrific job of leading the way on being a partner to ETF issuers. But every one of those issuers wants a second and a third provider so that they know their eggs aren't all in one basket.
I mean, that's like portfolio management 101.
It's risk management, right?
Exactly.
And all these folks look at it and they say, how do I manage the unique risks in crypto? Well, one of them is having it all in that one basket is a very dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
And so they're all figuring out ways to spread those eggs around.
So what's next for Kraken Institutional?
I think a lot of the institutions we focus on are very focused on using derivatives and options in the same way that they do in traditional finance. And so Kraken has a very vibrant futures business, launching an options business later this year. And we've seen that grow tremendously this year. So that'll be a big area.
Well, I mean, to your point too about risk management, and if you have the opportunity for options around your portfolio, it's good to see the product
allows you to be more
grow.
capital efficient and do a lot of the things that these institutions are used to doing in their traditional businesses, and take that into crypto with a similar framework and a similar set of tools.
All right, Tim, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me from Consensus. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.